Hi, everyone, and welcome to Angel Tarot Card Readings by Tim. I'm Tim Riley, and this is our weekly Angel Oracle card reading for the week of Monday. That's going to be May 29th through Sunday, June 4th. This reading is going to be a little bit longer because I wanted to just not only give us this weekly reading, but also what I'm sensing for June. Okay. So we're coming out of May, and May. I don't know how your May was, but the reading last week was just spot on for me. I don't know about you, but I did a lot of soul searching, a lot of meditation, and kind of going within. I'm going to tell you what, that's going to fall in for us coming up for June, and I'm going to tell you why. Just to give you, some advice here with the number 6 for June. June is really going to be about relationships. Number 6, if you think about it, that is the lovers card and the oracle card, in tarot. And it's really about harmony and um, our giving and our receiving and how we relate to others. But I will tell you, it's also going to be more important about how we relate with our own selves. And why I'm saying that is because this is going to be an opportunity for us to actually take a look at June as far as choices and decisions, because that's the big um, path that we're going to be moving on for June. Now, the other thing that they're also telling me is that some of these choices for some of you are going to be beyond your control. And that can be very scary for some of you. But the thing is that if you can just really go with the flow and resist resistance, that's hard to say, but try to resist resistance, okay, and releasing. And letting go of any type of resistance that you may be facing. But, that's going to really allow us to go our own path and being able to move forward. But, there's going to be some things that are going to be occurring that may be beyond some of our control. So we're going to have to actually, instead of making our own choices, Spirit is going to be creating choices for you. It's almost as if the energy with what I feel is if you've been in a job that you've been thinking about leaving and you know that you should have left and you really are afraid of moving forward, Spirit is almost saying, I've given you so many chances to do this, but since you're not doing this, I'm going to have to do it for you. And when that occurs, if it's a situation like that, the feeling of what we feel is a lot more scarier than if we would have made the choice in the first place because we're not expecting it to happen. So there's going to be some things that are going to be unexpected. But the thing is that we have to, and if that occurs for some of you, it's because it needed to. It's like the old structures. I'm feeling old structures being torn down. Addictions that maybe some of you have. It's like you're going to hit a brick wall this month. Okay. And so I want you to really, before, the end of June, to take a look at all of the choices that you need to be making that you haven't been and why you're not making those. So it's about, breaking down old structures so that, um, new can occur. Okay. It's kind of like the demolition of an old building so that a new building can be built. So I want you to think of that's what June is all about is let's get rid of the old so that new can come into play. But it is about you releasing resistance and letting go of control. Okay. Now, because I was talking about relationships, they're telling me also to if you are just new to this channel or if you didn't listen to last week's message, take a listen again at last week's message because it really is about self-acceptance for some of you. And this is going to be, again, that's where the resistance comes into play about changes that maybe you're wanting to make with your own self or what direction that you need to be moving in. But Spirit is also saying, don't put the words of other people, especially if they are negative, don't let that affect you in the choices that you make. Okay. So those are the many messages that I'm getting right now. Okay, so that's what June's gonna be. So I wanted to throw that out there for you. So it is about relationships. It is going to be about really more importantly how we're relating with other people, but more importantly, again, like I said, our own relationship. Where what choices do we need to make? What choices have we made? You know, and applaud yourself because it is about reward and recognition for a lot of choices that you've done. Okay, so pat yourself on the back if you've done a great job. But if there's some, still things that need to be done, this is the month to actually take charge of that. Okay, because it's very much a leadership, and I'm hearing balance with this too. So, depending upon how we step on that wire, we may tilt over. So it's really going slow because that was the energy of the last couple of weeks was going slow, not rushing through it. And I really feel that that's going to be where June is going to be. Okay. So I'm going to be using Doreen Virtue's Angel Therapy Oracle card deck. And then I also, they say, use the Magical Unicorns deck too. So I pulled out the Magical Unicorns deck. I started shuffling, went to shuffle it, and two flew out. So it looks like we get a bonus card for two cards here from the Magical Unicorns because I was just going to use one. I prayed over the deck before I shuffled, and I'm asking that the information that come through, whether you listen to it this week, whether you listen to this message 8 months from now, that's the beautiful thing is that you run across a message that's not even for the current week. But I truly believe that when somebody does that, it's because they're supposed to hear that message at that time. Okay. So I'm asking that whoever listens or views or watches this, that it resonate with you at the time of your need. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and reveal what we've chosen. Okay, so we have shield yourself. And I need to make sure, I'm going to take a look at my camera here because it looks like it was a little fuzzy. There we go. Okay, so shield yourself. Get my thumb out of the way. Sorry about that. There we go. And that's Archangel Michael right there. And it says, protect yourself from harsh or fear-based energies by envisioning a cocoon of healing light surrounding you. Okay? So you have Archangel Michael. Okay. And we have Ascended Masters here too. So lots and lots of support coming into play already for this week. It says powerful, loving, and wise spiritual teachers are watching over and guiding you. And then, oh, Michael comes in again. Vacuum away fear. And that's that resistance that releasing that. And the card says, call upon archangels Michael and Raphael to lift fear based energies from you, your surroundings, and this situation and everyone involved. And because we're asking Archangel Raphael, this could be some healing stuff too. Okay? So this may be things that, going back to some of those addictions or, and when I say the word addiction, it can be severe for some people, but it just might be a minor thing that, you've just recently have gotten onto and you know that you really shouldn't. So now's the time to just kind of, move away from it. It can be a small addiction like, red vines. Okay. So, but you've got a lot of energy here, and this is going to be really protective energy. And they're telling me also that this has to deal with last week, where we were talking about self-acceptance and maybe feeling a little bit vulnerable, and that's moving into this week as we get into June. And with all of the choices that we may be making for this month in June, we might be feeling very afraid, where that's the vacuuming away fear. So one of the first things I want to do is I want to just call in upon Archangel Michael right now. And I'm going to ask that Archangel Michael that you surround everybody that is viewing this video at any time that they view it and that you surround them with your beautiful royal blue, purple light. Protect them, guide them. My ear is ringing, so I know he's here. This is awesome. And I ask that you help cut any cords of attachments that we may have. This may be even toward unhealthy relationships. This may be with people that we have somehow created a habit of where we need to be with this person, or we allow them to be with us, or do or say or create certain environments. And that may not be for our highest good, that may not be healthy for us. So we ask that you sever those cords gently, and that those cords be sent to the other person with love and light. And we ask, Michael, that you please vacuum away any fear, that this fear that we may be feeling, whether it be at home, whether it be at our jobs. We ask that you right now send your beautiful, loving light into that space, and your vacuum of light, that you vacuum away and remove any unhealthy energy and purify that energy. And we thank you, Michael. And that is this week. What I want you focusing on is just to simply remove yourself and shield yourself. One of the techniques that you can do, and the shielding yourself, for some of you, it might be where you are or where you're going. Some of you might be traveling, and it may be into unknown areas. So you might be feeling a little uneasy and having a need for some protection. But this card is coming to you because, you might be feeling a little bit extra on edge this week. And that may be, and one of the things that you can always tell if you're feeling overly sensitive is electric shock. If you're, touching someone and you're constantly shocking that person, you've got some excess energy that you need grounding. So definitely you want to make sure that you're clearing your energy. And that's part of the shielding. So, take it easy this week, especially if you are around a lot of negative people, because you might be feeling tired. You might be feeling overexerted. So don't be surprised if this week that you come home and you might just need to just take a nap. Take a nap. There's nothing wrong with that. Recharge your batteries. But it's a wonderful thing too, also to help shield you and to release that energy by visualizing a purple light around you, like what I had just recently had stated in our prayer here, and to feel that energy absorbing any excess energy, and Michael vacuuming that energy away. Um, you know, we just had a new moon here on May 25th, and I always love it, and it did it here, but that's kind of my sign with my guides and angels is anytime it rains on a new moon, I know it's going to be a very wonderful cleansing cycle, and it sure did. So this is going to be very clearing and cleansing. And that's the other thing too. If you're working with crystals or especially if you do work with crystals, anytime it rains, especially like on a new moon or a full moon, I get those crystals out in that rain to help clear it and charge it. So anything that you can do to help shield and also protect you. But as far as the shielding, if you are feeling negative energy that's around you, you might be in a quarrelsome situation where and it may not be you, and maybe it is. Maybe you are unfortunately, arguing with people that are beyond that circumstances beyond your control, or you may be around people that might be arguing, or in some form there's voices being raised. Remove yourself from that harsh um, noise. Okay, so just imagine that bubble of light around you. And if you find it difficult to visualize it, one of the techniques that I learned from Doreen is just imagine that you are inside a tube of a lipstick, a giant lipstick tube, okay? And imagine that inside this tube there is this light swirling around you. And that light, now as that lipstick, as you move that and you're allowing yourself to come up out through that tube, that light is still around you, okay? So that helps you to keep that light circling around you and that protective light. Another thing that you can do is it doesn't have to always be purple. You know, I always say purple and blue because that is Archangel Michael's color, but I want you to, you know, ask for white light for Jesus, you know, and then throw in Michael's color of purple. You know, if you want to layer it or if you want to intertwine it, um, you know, make it tie dye, do whatever you want to do that you relate to. But if you want to start adding layers of color, you know, if you want green next for healing, you know, so certain colors that will help protect you, all right? So we now have then the Ascended Masters, and the Ascended Masters are, you know, definitely ones that you want to work with along with Archangel Michael because, you know, they are going to help you be able to really help you to listen and become more powerful. I won't say that um, you know they're very powerful beings and what the wise teachers and you know what they do is they help you to be able to work and they work very closely with the archangels work very closely with the ascended masters. Now if you're kind of new to some of the ascended masters, I think you know obviously Jesus is, you know, I think most people are very familiar that Jesus is an ascended master, and of course you know you've got some other ones which are, you know, um, Mother Mary would be another one. And when I'm working like with prosperity, if I'm wanting prosperity and abundance, one of the ascended masters that I would ask for is Lakshmi, okay, because it helps with prosperity. And Ganesh, which is the elephant, and you may see the elephant with like the two hands in the air and the little mouse, but Ganesh is great at removing obstacles, okay? There's so many. I mean, Kuan Yin is helps with compassion to bring more compassion into it. And of course, Mother Mary is very much like a wonderful mother in heaven. You know, when you need to feel like you just need somebody to hold you and rock you, Mother Mary, you know, she helps whenever I may need where I feel very vulnerable and I'm needing a mom. Okay. So you may be very tempted, and I do want you to definitely, if you, as we're talking about this, if you think of an ascended master as I was talking about them, that's the ascended master I want you working with this week. Okay. But definitely Archangel Michael to help you, and then also ask the ascended masters along with Michael to help us this week. But what I'm seeing here is so much about removing fear and shielding and protection, and you know this vacuuming away fear. This is just again going back to releasing the resistance of not moving forward. Okay, so this week, and again, the card here, and I want to pick it up and read it here. It says, call upon Archangel Michael and also Raphael to lift fear based energies from you, your surroundings, this situation, and everyone involved. You know, the fear, and the fear may be from somebody else that may be keeping you tied down and not being able to move. So, you know, we can also ask that Archangel Michael and Raphael contact and work with whoever this individual's archangels, or I'm sorry, their guardian angels, so that they can talk to their guardian angels to help remove that fear so that they can move on, so that you can move on. Okay. But, you know, this is, you know, again, about letting go of any old residual energies too. Okay. All right. So, you know, this week I want you again with this releasing this resistance is I want you to just simply accept and release the need to resist anything in your environment that is holding you back. Okay? And simply accept, and that you will, you know, that you're going to relinquish any type of control and allow yourself to move forward so that You are going to be moving in the right choices. And this is also about acceptance, that self-acceptance last week, that we accept that we're right where we need to be right now. And that's hard to do, especially if you don't feel like things are right where they should be. That's where faith comes into play. But we just need to be happy right now and not thinking back, not thinking in the past, not thinking in the future, but what choice today can I make that's going to create a better tomorrow? Okay. Now, the two cards here with the magical unicorns. Okay, this is for me. And the card is try something new. You'll only know that you can do something if you try. Exercise. So try something new. Exercise. Some of you, this might be actually physical exercise. Okay, so the exercise card here, it says run, walk, swim, or otherwise move your body. And this will give you more energy and happiness. Okay? All right, so I know for me, yes, that is a physical. So I'm being told, and I know those of you watching that I think anybody can incorporate more exercise. We're getting into the warmer months. Now's the time to actually do that. It's the choices. And then again, going back to those choices, it's the choice that we will make to try something new. This can also, if it doesn't mean a physical exercise, this simply can be also, why don't you try something new? Exercise trying something new. Okay? This could be putting the effort toward doing something new. So there's another meaning for that card for you as well. So lots of very important messages coming through for this week. And I hope that this resonates with you. Again, if you would like a personal reading with me, you can reach me at timothyriley.biz. And thank you, everyone. Have a blessed week, and I will see you next time. Thanks. Bye now.